So, what's your reading goal this year?
So it keeps changing, but I think I'm sticking with 200 just because I know I can read a book a day, but it was stressing me out. What about you?
Just casually, I can read a book a day. I set I set my goal for 130 this year, and I'm currently at 96. I just finished the 96th book, which was our buddy read, The Poisoner by Ivy Ophelia, which I 10 out of 10 recommend.
Damn. Wait, how do you just come up with a random like 130? Like, tell me that you
Um,
remember.
because I think last year I read like 120, so I like try to push it up by like 10 because I'm like, well, if I just barely made this one, I don't know what next year is gonna look like.
Well, welcome to the FaceTime call. Thank you so much for joining us. We are just talking about our little reading goals for the year. It's a perfect time, right, Queen? What do you think?
Yeah, we're almost to the end of the year, so
Hopefully, you're
what are
not a
your reading
procrastinator.
goals? Yeah, I mean, it's gonna get harder with the holidays coming around. I know everyone's gonna be scrambling for novella recommendations soon. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah.
cheaters. No, I'm just kidding. Because I do that. So like yeah, like I was saying, like I can read a book a day, but it was starting to stress me out. Like at the beginning of the year when I was doing that, I was like, oh my god, like I feel like I'm not even picking books that I want to read. I'm picking ones that I know I can get through like really quickly. And then I wasn't like retaining, and it was just like a mess. So I was like, you know what? I'll just do it at like 200 and we'll just like if I go above that, great. If we don't, yeah. Plus, I started a full time job and school, so I had to like lower it down a little bit. And I'm at, I think it's like 160 right now.
Oh, okay.
What you're at like 96 out of 130. Like you're gonna beat that like in a month.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I just also think like reading goals, like what do you guys celebrate when you hit your reading goal? Like what do you do? Gift yourself a book? Like what is the prize for the reading goal? Because sometimes I'm like, what does it matter? But then other times I'm like, I read 96 books. So, I mean,
This is my first time trying to do like a reading goal. Like I'm like, oh my god, my poor cat just wants to be in the podcast so bad. Um,
show us the baby. I want
all
to
right,
see
hold
the
on.
baby.
All right, I hope everyone loves that blooper. She's a tortie, so she has like a really bad attitude sometimes, but I love
Oh.
her. Oh my god, if my phone doesn't stop, I hope everyone loves this blooper. Like this is great. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay, so we were talking about yeah, I don't know. This is my first year actually like trying for a reading goal. If I make it this year, I think I'm just gonna post it on social media and pretend like I'm better than everybody else. I think that's a good plan. I think I'm gonna be like, yeah, like I totally meant to do that.
It's just the bragging rights, honestly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just laughing because you're like, oh, 130, that's such a random number. But yeah, I think it just like upped it by 10. Like I keep just increasing it by 10 books like every year that I like meet it. So I'm like, can I read an additional 10 books? Is it just an additional 10 novellas? Like how far can I push myself? So, yeah.
Okay, so like kind of like a bodybuilder, but instead like you're just building your mind and like your bookshelf. No, I
Yeah,
love that. That's great.
we're just
I don't know.
increasing it little by little.
I wanted so badly to do exactly 365 and be like, yeah, what about it?
A
Like,
book a day.
and then I was hitting like slumps. I started my job, and then like, yeah, I can kind of like read at work in between stuff, but like not like consistently. And also, if you're my manager, no, you're not. You're not watching this. Um, but yeah, so like
Oopsie.
that. I know that was kind of hard, but I don't know. And then my husband came home from deployment, and I didn't want to read. Also, when you go on vacation, do you read? Be honest. Like if you're at the beach, do you read?
Yeah, I mean, the last time that I was in Vegas, I was by the pool and I was just reading. Although I will say that like alcohol and my Kindle like don't mix. I'll just like like I was sipping a big huge pina colada and it I didn't remember much of what I read honestly because I went back to the hotel and was like face planted. Um So yeah, I mean, if I'm like drinking and stuff, I'm not gonna retain anything, and I'm just gonna have to go back and read it again. But I'll try. I'll
Yeah, I
try.
know. Well, so we just got back from the beach because we went for Labor Day, and I was like, yeah, I want to read all these books. And this is gonna be so great. Like, I brought my Kindle charged up. I brought like a couple paper bags, and I was like, I'm gonna be like one of those little beach girlies in my cute little bathing suit, reading my book. I didn't. No, you know what I did do? I napped, and then I got in the water and I played mermaids because that
Nice.
is what I wanted to do on my vacation. Because I read all the time, but on my vacation I want to like go do different stuff. And reading is
Yeah.
relaxing, but also I didn't want to be crying on the beach.
Yeah. No, you definitely also have to do like a lighthearted read or something that you don't really have to like pay attention to the plot to. Like when
Yes.
you're on vacation and stuff like that. Also, I will say like the last time I remember, I did an audiobook and again it was the same thing though. It was like an audiobook that was like low stakes, like very much like a very
Yeah.
short listen that I didn't really have to pay attention to. It was like a very fluffy romance, like the one that I did while on
I
vacation.
love those.
Yeah. So I definitely don't think that like you should start reading like, I don't know, the Throne of Glass series while you're on vacation. Like
No.
maybe.
And it's so funny that you say that because 2-ish years ago, when I was getting back into reading after like many years, like hiatus, like where I wasn't like really focused on reading because, boring adult stuff. And I've always been an avid reader, but okay, again, whatever. So like 2-ish years ago, I was on a beach vacation and I was like visiting my mom or something, and I randomly picked up the Akatar series and I
Oh.
binged it in 2.5 days while sitting at the beach. And ever since then, I've never done another beach read again. I don't know why or
Oh.
how that
Maybe
happened, but it's weird.
you just conditioned yourself to having to be sat and like pay attention hardcore to like
Yeah.
what you're reading at the beach, which is maybe the opposite of what you should do, but someone like you that reads a book a day.
Oh my God, shut up. No, okay, well, fine. If you want to feel better, I got one of those little watercolor books off of TikTok. And like, where it has the traced outline for you and it tells you how to watercolor the picture. And
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, I'm gonna be that girl, like in a Wattpad novel on the beach painting. And I started painting this crab on the notebook, and my husband was like, "What the hell is that?" And I was like, "Shut up!"
Oh my God.
I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be, I'm supposed to be not like the other girl.
I'm not like other girls.
I know it was so bad, but yeah. Okay,
Oh my
okay.
God.
Back to book stuff. What apps are you using to track your reading goals?
So I really love Fable. I have been using it since I think since it came out or when it like got really popular on TikTok. I just like that it's aesthetically pleasing. I also you can also do half stars, which I'm not a big like rating it half stars. I'm a whole stars type of girly. But it
Yeah.
does have half and quarter stars or something like that because I know that's a point of contention for a lot of people. And also I think it's like really good for like when you want to post to social media. Like I feel like Fable is made for social media. But the one thing that I will say is that you sometimes will not find all of the books on there, and you'll have to request for them to be put on there. Because as you know, Goodreads is owned by Amazon, and all of the books on Amazon are on Goodreads. Um, so there's that. But yeah, I also do use Goodreads. I just don't use it as much as Fable because also I'm like a little peanut brained person and I like clicking the I read today and then looking at my streak. That's another thing with Fable that I really like. What about you?
I'm super bad about tracking my books, honestly. Like it's like really bad. Uh,
So then how do you know how many you have?
because I read so much on my Kindle app, like Kindle Unlimited, it
Oh,
tracks
you
it
use the Kindle
automatically.
app. I
Right.
see. Okay,
But
yeah.
I also have Fable and I also have Goodreads, and I'm trying to make it a habit now to go on Goodreads and add when I'm reading and rate it and review it. I am
Mm,
actually notoriously bad about reading and reviewing books. I will just finish them and pick up the next one without even like, oh, bye. Um, so I'm trying to be better about that, and I'm actually been like sitting down for like 30 to 45 minutes a day and going through what I've read in like my notes on like my phone app or whatever, what I can remember, and then going off of there. Because authors deserve to have reviews of their books if I read it, you know what I mean? Like they deserve that, and so I need to be a better person. But yeah, so Fable, Goodreads, and then the Kindle app is really good. However, it's kind of annoying because if I read it outside the Kindle app, I can't track it. I can't just add it. And I'm like,
Mm.
curse you, Amazon, and your stupid corporate policies.
Yeah, if it's not part of Amazon, it's not gonna let you do it. But then also going back to like reading and reviewing and stuff like that, it's also not necessary. Like if you don't review the book that you read, it's not the end of the world.
Yes, it is.
Um, it's
No,
not.
I'm sorry.
Um, so don't feel obligated or like, because I also like I like knowing all the books that I've read, and that's also why I like Fable because maybe not all of them are on Kindle Unlimited, so then you can add like, whatever you read on there. Um, but I do like rate the books that I read, not all the time, but most of them. I would say like 80% of the books I do rate them. I don't review all of them, because I don't have time. But if I do have like an ARC or like an ALC, or if I really loved it and need to like yell into the abyss about it, I will definitely review it. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe that's what I should adopt then, because I feel like I spent so much time trying to review every single book that I've read. And there's some books like I enjoyed reading it, but there wasn't a lot for me to say about it besides like, oh, hey, good book. I liked it. Um, like what was that one book that we both read? Glory. Like, I don't want to review that book because I don't want people to know that like I read it. It's like my dirty
Okay,
little secret.
this brings up another point. Are there books that you don't add to your streak or like to your Fable? Because obviously
100%.
on Kindle you can't. I mean, I haven't been on like the Kindle app to like really like in the reading tracker to see. Can you remove? I think you can, right? Remove like a book that you've read on Kindle Unlimited so that it doesn't show up on your like streak or what?
Nope, you can't.
Oh, okay.
Don't like it.
So then, are there books that like if you are an avid Fable user or Goodread user, like do you omit certain books? Because I know that I definitely have. And it's actually a book that Lexi and I have both read. And the way that it came up was so funny because it was just kind of like, oh, this book. And I was like, oh, that book? I, do you mean this one?
Do you mean the
You mean,
series?
you mean,
Yeah.
you mean the second one that I didn't read also?
Yeah. No, I definitely omit some, and then I kind of track them like privately, just because I will say Tome app, who I love and adore so much, they have a book tracking thing, kind of coming out. They're still working on it, but it's you can use it. It's on the app now. And I really like theirs, and I think I might be wrong about this. You can private certain books on it,
Oh,
and
that's
I
good. That's
might
good
do
to
that.
know.
Yeah, I think that's important because there's just some books out there that look. It's nothing against the authors. It's nothing against the book. It's just
Okay, listen. I will tell you, and if you follow me on TikTok and you see my like monthly reading wrap ups, you will see that at some point last year, there was books that I was like, I needed to go touch grass after I read these books because I
yeah.
was like, what the hell did I read? But also, I was laughing real hard when I finished up my reading wrap up. And you know how sometimes Goodreads and Fable will give you like the stats of like, you read this book with like a trillion other people, and this book was like you and five other people. There was a couple of books on there that I was like, I should have just omitted these because what was I reading? And I was like, you were in the 1% of readers for this book, and I was like, okay, like, yeah, I just think that those stats are so funny. So,
It's probably like the same. Not saying like the books that we were reading that we're omitting are like porn or anything like that, but like how like certain guys will like say like, "Oh, I was just scrolling," and then afterwards I was like, "What the hell did I just watch?" No, like that's
yeah,
exactly the thing.
yeah. It's the curiosity that killed the cat type of book. That's what I call it. Like, I have a whole category of them, and I read them and I enjoy them, and then I'm like, what did I just read? And then I was like, ugh, what's the next one called?
Oh my god. No, I just yeah, okay. Again, I'm not putting those out there. Like these are the types of books that you just have to find in like a deep, dark, depraved hole on social
Ones
media.
that you want to take to the grave with you.
No, I'm not taking them to the grave with me. Not even then. Because what if there's a grave robber and they see that I read this book?
They're like, they open it, like, what the fuck is this?
Then like the archaeologist digging up my grave is gonna be like, oh, mentally ill.
Can you imagine, like, can you imagine just like them finding our bookshelves like 3,000 years in the future and they're just like, what the fuck was wrong with these people?
Yeah, I know. Well, I honestly, I like hit this thing where I was like, man, why am I collecting all these books? Like, what's the point? Like, blah blah blah. You know, brr, depressing. And then I was like, you know what? No, I want a collection that people fight over when I die. Like, I want them
Yeah,
to be like ruthless, and that's what I am doing.
I agree. These past couple of years, I've started to collect like special editions and pretty editions of the books I really, really love. That's also kind of a change that I've done with my reading as well. Before, I would just buy books that and like have a physical TBR, but then I got the Kindle and I was like, no, I think what I'm gonna do is just buy trophy copies. I still buy books that I have not read, but the majority of my
Yeah.
books on my shelf are trophy copies. And now I've taken that a step further with buying like books that I absolutely love and then having three copies of them because I need the pretty special editions, which is unfortunate, but
My
I've
fourth
just
wing shelf.
accepted the fact that, yeah, I've just accepted the fact that I'm probably going to have three copies of specific books. Like you can probably tell behind me, I have three, like, or a couple copies of like part of the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and like I have a few copies of Lights Out. I also have a couple of copies of the Ruinous Love trilogy because I went to go see her two times and they gave me books each time. So, yeah, just
She's awesome. I mean, I have like other country editions too of books. Like for Fourth Wing, I have all the
yes.
German editions. I have the paperback. I have acrylics. I have like I just it's too much, but it's not enough at the same time.
No, 100% I agree. Also, the German editions of books are so pretty. Like, what
I
do we need to
know.
do to get the publishers here to just make all of the books as pretty as the German editions? Like, most of them have sprayed edges and like character art in them. Just what do we need to do to get that here? Because I need that for all of my editions. I love character art.
I know, but either way, I'm trying to be a better book tracker. I still omit some. I'm trying to rate and review more books because I'm trying to overcome my consumption problem. I don't know. You know what I mean? I There's got to be something that I'm shameful about, and that's it. Okay. Otherwise, I'm not human enough. I mean,
Oh
so yeah.
no. Oh
I'm kind of wondering.
no.
I'm kind of wondering what other like book trackers people use because I like look through the app store and there's so many and I don't know. Tome, I think, is a big one that's coming up that might take over the industry because, like, they put a lot of effort into it and a lot of work, and like, it's a small team developing the app and everything that goes inside of it. So I really like that. But I don't know. I'm interested to see like what everyone else says in our comments. Like, what apps do you guys use? What methods do you guys use?
Yeah, and do you even track your books or are you just kind of like, I don't care? Um,
What the hell?
so
That's
I
not an
mean,
option.
I think it is. I think that there's people out there that are just like, I'm not gonna track my books. I'm just gonna read what I want, which I need to adopt that aloof attitude because sometimes I'm like looking at my like monthly wrap-ups and I'm like, damn, how did I only read that many books? But that's just like pressure that you put on yourself, which is also not great.
Yeah, definitely. I'm too type A, but I'm dysfunctional type A too because I put so much pressure on myself that I just won't do it at all. Like with my
Eh,
social media, I'm so bad about posting and like actually showing things that I have all the good ideas, just none of the
yeah, it's the
yeah,
what is it called? The something freeze, like your
executive
functional freeze
dysfunction.
yeah, executive dysfunction, where just you know that you need to do all these things and the thought of doing it is overwhelming, which are we all just living the same life?
I think so. However, if we're living the same life and you know the books that I've omitted from my pages, do not comment them. Shame on you, especially you, Jack.
I know which ones they are.
Shut up. Shut up. Okay. Anyways, yes. Tell us in the comments. Let us know what's your method, what's your not method, what's your preferred app, and what things should we be looking out for when we are tracking, or if there's a new app that you know about, let us know.
Yeah. Or like, what's your reading goal? Where are you at? What should we add to our TBRs? Just yap with us. We love yapping.
Almost time for the end of the year, you little procrastinators. Talking to myself. Okay, until next time, guys. We'll see you later. Again, I'm Lexi,
I'm Jazzy.
and thanks for picking up our call. Bye, guys.
Bye.